Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, hi, my name is Dana. I upload new videos at least once a week, sometimes a little more than that, and now is a great time to subscribe to my channel so you can stay on top of all of my new videos. Also, if you're new to the tea journey, I have something else that will help you. It is an ebook that I wrote this year. It's called The Basics of Tea, and it just gives you a nice base of knowledge in order to start like going to tea stores and exploring tea with confidence. So if you're looking to learn your basics of tea, I'll leave that in the description box below for you guys. Today, I am going to be looking back at all of the teas that I tried in 2019 and sort of like talking about them and talking about my favorites and a little like blurb, I guess, of what I thought of each one that I tried. 2019 was such an eventful year, I guess you could say. I got married in April, so up until April was probably the best couple months of my life, honestly. I'm so happy to be married. We just celebrated our first married Christmas, and I'm kind of hoping to hop on and do sort of like a personal life update for you guys. But in this video, I'm only looking back at tea that I tried, so it is all good. So this year I tried 44 different teas here on my channel. So I made a list of all of the teas I tried, and I just thought I'd kind of run down the list and talk about like what I liked, what I didn't like, and sort of count up the different tea types of what I tried. So to tally up all of the tea types I tried one white tea this year, one pour tea this year, 2 matchas, 2 Mottais, 2 oolong teas, 5 green teas, 5 rooibos teas, 10 herbal teas, and the grand prize winner is the black tea this year. I tried 16 different black teas. I tried 4 teas from Plum Deluxe, 5 teas from Adagio, 8 teas from Tea by Daniel, and a whopping 27 from my favorite company, DAVIDStea. So that is kind of crazy if I think about it that way. I would really like to kind of expand into even more tea brands in 2020. The number one that I have kind of on my radar for next year is Bird & Blend. Once I have a little bit of extra money, I would love to place an order from them because I've heard so many good things. Let's start going through, I guess. I'm sort of gonna go in chronological order, but who knows where it'll go from there, but that's kind of how my list is laid out, so we'll just start with like what I tried first. The first teas that I tried of this year were sort of like a wellness collection from DAVIDStea. So I tried a Choco Chaga Detox, which was the first time I've ever tried any tea with like chaga in it. That was another kind of like popular ingredient this year. I heard a lot of other YouTubers talking about that brand Four Sigmatic that does all the fancy like mushroom blends and all the like really like benefit packed mushroom sort of teas and drinks and stuff. So that's another thing I'd really kind of like to do in the new year. Sort of like I'm always seeing YouTubers talking about that brand Four Sigmatic, and it's always sponsored. And me, I'm still small enough to where I'm not really being offered sponsorships yet, unfortunately, but I thought it would be cool to purchase some Four Sigmatic and give an unbiased review. Not saying if you're like being paid for it, you're necessarily biased, but you know, I just kind of would like to try it for myself and share like a completely uninfluenced opinion. But Choco Chaga Detox was my first foray into mushroom teas. Then I tried Honey Ginseng Defense, which was awesome. I did really enjoy that tea from DAVIDStea. It was an oolong, which is my favorite. I love oolong teas. And it had like a really nice floral note to it. And it was like all honey-like, and I think there were goji berries too. So that one was really, really good. I would probably put that in like my top 5 for this year. Then an herbal tea called Tulsi Tranquility. I wasn't as crazy about that one as a lot of other people seem to be. I know it did really well this year. Even when I went into DAVIDStea, one of the tea guides told me that that was her favorite of the collection. I remember that. So that was not my personal favorite, but it had the Tulsi, or like the holy basil, which has some awesome benefits. So I feel like the first like round of teas that I tried, I really like tried different ingredients that I never really like thought of or knew about before. Like, I mean, I heard of Chaga, but I never had heard of Tulsi, so that was really interesting and I learned a lot from that. And then the next tea I tried was a green tea called Cool Eucalyptus from DAVIDStea, and it had a really strong punch of eucalyptus and also juniper berries. So if you weren't feeling well and you drank that, it would really just like blast out all your sinuses and make you feel better. Kind of like DAVIDStea's Cold 911, but in a green tea version. And I didn't end up buying it again, and I don't think I would, even though I enjoyed what I had of it. It was just a little too strong in that eucalyptus for me. Then I tried green apple kombucha. I was not going to try that one, but I was in the DAVIDStea store and I just had to give it a sniff because how can you resist smelling everything when you go into a tea store? And I smelled ginger. So it was a green tea with kombucha powder, ginger, and apple. And I liked it a lot more than I expected to. Like when I heard green apple kombucha, I wasn't really interested, to be honest. I'm not that into apple teas. I had like a whole tin of Honeycrisp apple from DAVIDStea for a long time that I hadn't drank through. So I was like, I could pass on green apple kombucha, but I ended up really loving that one. Cause I mean, of course, it was a green tea with ginger. Then came my first matcha of the year, my first new matcha of the year at least. It was DAVIDStea's Golden Turmeric Matcha, and I do want to come back to this one later because I tried something similar a little bit later on from a different brand. But honestly, I really haven't drank that since I reviewed it. I'm not crazy about flavored matchas. I love turmeric, so that's why I wanted to try that one, even though like I know I'm not crazy about the flavored ones. I would rather drink my ginger turmeric tonic because it has ginger and it has green tea. And what I do sometimes is I take that and I mix in a little bit of like straight matcha. And I do want to get back on the ball with having matcha every day because I truly, you know, I don't even just believe, I know that matcha really helped me during my weight loss journey because I was drinking it every day. And it just helped me, like, I just felt like I was losing weight so fast and easy because of the matcha. So I do definitely want to start drinking matcha again. So maybe I will do my best to drink through the Golden Turmeric Matcha, but it had like coconut water, like powdered coconut water or something. So I think it was that I didn't love about it. I mean, I liked it when I tried it for the video, but then like compared to a straight matcha, I just would never pick that. I liked that one, but it's just not really, it's not a staple for me. I wouldn't repurchase. And I tried like a whole string of Tea by Daniel teas because they were kind enough to send me like 1,000,000 teas for free, and that was really cool. I've really enjoyed getting to know them this year. Renata is Daniel's wife, and she's just the sweetest lady ever. So I just love seeing them succeed and following along with them on Instagram, and of course drinking their delicious teas. So I tried an oolong called Wow Oolong, and had like peach and apricot, which is great in an oolong, so I definitely enjoyed that. Then I tried Mama Bear Magic. I wasn't sure what it would be because it has like a fun name like that, but it was a green tea and it had turmeric and lime, which is a really cool combination. I enjoyed that one. Then came Almond Cookie Crumble, which was like, it was a very subtly flavored black tea, and I believe it's Renata's favorite. I feel like I have gotten more into black tea this year than I was before, so I do want to try that one again now that I'm more into black tea and see what I think, because I love almond teas, so I can imagine really loving that one if I give it a second try. I think it was literally the day of my wedding that I uploaded the next review, and it was Ginger Peach Snow Cone, a white tea. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I uploaded that on my wedding day. I will never not upload on a Sunday. Like one time I was having like technical difficulties and it just like drove me crazy. I cried. I was like so upset thinking that I like couldn't get my Sunday video up. It was very dramatic, but I will always, like even on my wedding day, I'll make sure I have that video scheduled every single Sunday. Then I tried Night in Rio from Tea by Daniel, and that was like a really fun fruity, like herbal fruit infusion type thing. Then I went back on sort of a DAVIDStea streak. I tried a tea called Melonade. They came out with like a lemonade collection, and I did end up giving that one away to my friend because she was giving me some tea and I was like, I definitely have some tea to spare. So I gave her the rest of that because I just don't prefer to drink teas iced. And I just thought Melonade, like it had, I think, cucumber and cantaloupe or something. Like it definitely would have tasted like hot pickle juice if I made it hot. Like it was good iced, but it wasn't my very favorite just because I don't really like green teas iced. I prefer them hot. So I gave that one away to a friend. Then, ooh, Lavender Buttercream. I really enjoyed DAVIDStea's Lavender Buttercream. It tasted like a really fancy, awesome, like vanilla cupcake with a hint of lavender. It was so just like buttery and delicious. That one was a rooibos, so it was good for nighttime. Oh, that one was just so awesome. I definitely would repurchase that one. If I still had like the money for it, I might even buy a tinzilla of that. I really liked it. Then I tried DAVIDStea's Rainbow Lemonade, which was an herbal tea, also from that Lemonade collection. And if you guys remember, that one tasted a little too familiar to me. It was pretty much the same as DAVIDStea's Rainbow Sherbet from a collection that we had when I worked there. So that one was a big letdown. I was like, I just felt so like bamboozled, I guess, because it was literally something I already tried. And if they just released it under the same name, I wouldn't have obviously tried it again. I would have been like, oh, I'll sit this one out because I've tried it. So I just felt like they got my money for something that I wouldn't have bought. So I really didn't like that. But then I did like the next one, the Lychee Bellini. It was a black tea and I actually really did like it iced. When it comes to iced teas, I do like black tea iced and herbals. Like I really don't like green or white teas iced just because like, I love those hot. So when it comes to like black teas, it reminds me of like when you go to a restaurant, you order an iced tea. Usually it's like an iced black tea with lemon or something. So I drank the Lychee Bellini iced and it tastes like rose to me. Like the lychee was so floral and delicious. And it didn't have like an alcohol taste like how the like past cocktail collections from DAVIDStea sometimes had, where it had like that weird wine note. Because I don't drink alcohol, so to me that's like a weird foreign taste. So I was really relieved that it didn't have that, and I think that was the only one I tried from the cocktail collection. And it just tastes really awesome and rosy and nice. Then I loved this collection, the iced latte collection from DAVIDStea. It was so fun filming those videos because I got to try them all as iced lattes, and then I made like a whole separate video where I tried them just as hot teas, and they were good both ways. The vanilla cappuccino was my favorite. I made it as an iced latte with some cold foam on top. Oh, it was so good. So I really enjoyed that one. It was another black tea. That might have been one of my favorites of the whole year. I'm kind of marking off which ones I like the best so I can do like a top 5, top 10 sort of situation. Then Blueberry Shake was a rooibos, and that one I honestly haven't reached for again since I first tried it, or since I second tried it, since I made 2 videos where I drank it. But I'm just not that crazy about blueberry in teas. Maybe my husband would like it, so maybe I'll have him try it and see what he thinks. And then Frosted Cereal, I would probably give that one the award of the most unique tea I tried this year, because it definitely was a flavor you would never think to make a tea out of. So I felt like DAVIDStea was like back in business with that, you know, like it was their old kind of thing where they make all these off the wall flavors and everyone like everyone's really surprised, but we have to try it. So I mean, it was good, but it wasn't, I mean, I feel like it's more like the novelty of it was exciting than like the actual tea was good. It's definitely something I could live without. I wouldn't buy it again, but I still do have some and I'll drink through it. And another one of my favorites that I tried this year was Tea by Daniel's Flu Who. I put off trying this one, I'm not gonna lie. I put it off for a while. I like saved it from that first like stretch of Tea by Daniel reviews I did. So I just had it like sitting to the side for a while, but once I tried it, I was like in love. I drank through it so quickly because it was the perfect nighttime tea for me. It had like lemongrass, cinnamon, there were peppercorns in it, like pink peppercorns I think, ginger. It's all things that feel really good when you are sick. But for me, like those are just the flavors I like anyway. So I do sort of wish it had a different name than Flu Who. I just don't like to drink tea when I'm sick, but I loved that tea. Like for an everyday nighttime tea, it was perfect. It was caffeine free with all the things I love. Okay, and then this one was interesting. It was Tea by Daniel's Glitter and Golden Milk. So it was another turmeric matcha, and it was kind of similar to the DAVIDStea one, but it was a little simpler. It was like the same concept as DAVIDStea's Golden Turmeric Matcha. Let me see if I can find it. All right, so I still have both of them, so I haven't drank through either of them, but Glitter and Golden Milk, it looks like it was meant to sort of be a latte mix, whereas Golden Turmeric Matcha, I mean, I guess it was too. It doesn't really say on here like how to mix it, but it is considered like a drink mix instead of a matcha. And the DAVIDStea one has coconut water powder, matcha green tea, turmeric powder, black pepper powder, and it contains coconut. And then this one is much simpler. It's just the matcha, stone ground green tea, turmeric, ginger, and cane sugar. So this one is more simple ingredients, but it does have sugar. I'd be curious to compare side by side to decide like who is the ultimate fighting champion of like turmeric matchas. Then I tried Tea by Daniel's Orange Creamsicle. That one was really good. It tastes exactly like a real live orange creamsicle, and I did wish that there wasn't any hibiscus in it so I could turn it into a latte, but it made an awesome iced tea either way. Then there was like another wellness collection from DAVIDStea. So it's kind of weird because there was one at the beginning of the year and then one, this would have been like, it was after my wedding, so like summer, I think. Peachy Clean, that was the only pour tea I tried all year. And it's kind of confusing because it was a white pour, so it wasn't like that dark flavor. But I really did like that one. It had peach and like ginger. It was good for your digestion. And I know a lot of people didn't like it because they expected something different from the name, but personally I enjoyed it. Then I tried Echinacea Shield. I believe it was my first time trying echinacea, so another interesting new ingredient. And that one I really didn't like. I don't know if it's the echinacea that tastes bitter or what it was really, but I haven't had that one since. Bed of Roses was a rooibos tea from DAVIDStea, and that one I absolutely loved. It had kind of a weird smell, but then like the taste of it was so good. It was like rosy and it had silver linden flowers, I think. It was so relaxing and like nice. So I did drink through that one as a bedtime tea. Then Dandelion Detox, that was another one from DAVIDStea that I did drink through pretty quick. It had dandelion root and cranberry, so it just tastes really good. It reminded me of a detox drink my mom used to make. So I wanted to save that one to have some for Thanksgiving, but it was gone long before then. So the next tea I tried is where we kind of start going into our chai sort of theme for the second half of the year. I started trying the chais I think in September, and then it was just like a long string of chais with a couple other different types of teas sprinkled in. But this next tea is, I think, maybe the best tea of the year that I tried. It was DAVIDStea's Maple Chai. I remember they made kind of a big deal about how they took so long to develop this particular blend, the Maple Chai, and I honestly, I wouldn't have bought it. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be as amazing as it was, because it doesn't really sound that like mind-blowing. It just sounds kind of like a sweet chai, I thought. Like, I thought maple chai, like I thought it would just taste like a regular old chai with maple. But it was so thoughtfully and masterfully blended. It was so good. It had the maple flavor, but it wasn't like a sugary, sweet, syrupy kind of chai. The maple flavor was balanced so well with the spices. There was even some black pepper in it, so it really like brought the spiciness up to meet that maple flavor, and it was just so good. Like you could tell that they took years to develop it because it was so complex and balanced and just so good. After maple chai, I tried Adagio's spiced mate. My mom took me for my birthday to Adagio, and I had like points saved up from a million years ago, and also I had like, also there was a deal going on where if you buy a certain amount of tea, you get more for free. So I ended up getting a lot of tea, and spiced mate was a really awesome one. It was one of only 2 mates that I tried all year, and I love mates because they give you that nice slow steady energy. Like you don't get any sort of jitters, you don't get any sort of crash, you just have like a nice like focused energy. And the spiced mate was really awesome because it was like spiced, and that's my favorite kind of tea, combined with all of those energizing effects of a mate. It was really nice. Then I tried 2 of DAVIDStea's Halloween teas, and honestly they were both kind of weird. I was really disappointed with them. The first one was Forbidden Root, and it had like an almond sort of like marzipan sort of flavor. Then it had like a weird like cocoa flavor and like a weird sweetness. I think there was burdock root in it. So I liked the nod to like witchcraft because I'm super into that stuff and I love Halloween, and burdock root is a commonly used ingredient in like witchcraft. So I liked the whole concept, but the taste I didn't like so much. I did end up giving it a second try one night as my bedtime tea, like my nighttime relaxation tea, and I just really didn't like it. It had a weird sweetness to it, probably from, I think it was licorice root, but I just really didn't enjoy it. And then even worse than that was Deep Purple. That was DAVIDStea's other Halloween tea that was new this year. And it was just really weird. I was excited about it because it had Kenyan purple tea, and I had never heard of that or seen that before. And I was expecting the tea to steep up like a really nice deep purple color because that's what it's called, but it just didn't do that. It had butterfly pea flower, so there was like a hint of blue, but it was more like almost like a grayish color. Like it wasn't the color of a black tea at all. It almost looked like a white tea or a green tea with a little bit of like a blue tint. But also like the tea, it was very, very astringent. And I've heard that that is just kind of how Kenyan purple tea tastes. It has a really strong astringency where you feel like it just dries out your mouth. Like that's exactly what it is about black tea that I don't like, is like the astringency. I can't imagine that I'd ever drink it again, but I actually have a lot left. I only bought an ounce, so I guess I don't have that much left, but it had candied pineapple, Kenyan purple tea, blueberries, licorice root, lemon myrtle, butterfly pea flowers, and natural blueberry and raspberry flavoring. And it smells really good. Like it smells like blue raspberry, like a blue raspberry like gusher or something. So it smells awesome, but that Kenyan purple tea just really messed it up for me. So I think I have to say that this was my least favorite tea of the entire year, the Deep Purple. There wasn't much that I enjoyed about the taste at all. Next I got Full Moon Chai from Plum Deluxe. I'm actually an ambassador for Plum Deluxe, so every time I talk about Plum Deluxe in my videos, I always have them linked in the description box with a special link, and if you click my link and buy tea through that particular link, I do get a little bit of money back to spend on more tea. So for my first little order this year, which was in fall, I went for Full Moon Chai and Autumn Almond Chai, but first I tried the Full Moon Chai. I was so intrigued by the name because I was born on a full moon, so I have a really special connection to full moons. I know a lot of people like feel like weird things or bad things happen around full moons, but for me, like I kind of feel like I'm thriving when there's a full moon. So I had to try a tea called Full Moon Chai, and it ended up being a vanilla masala chai with the addition of butternut. The butternut extract flavor, like that butternutty thing, wasn't as pronounced as I hoped it would be. It was a little light, so it kind of did just taste like a regular chai, But nonetheless, I have loved every chai I've tried from Plum Deluxe, and I finished that bag of tea real quick. Then I took sort of an interlude away from the Plum Deluxe and tried David's chai, which was another one I didn't really think I would try. But when I saw that there was star anise and I was kind of like making it my goal to try as many chais as I could, I did decide to grab some, and I loved that one too, and that one is long gone as well. It was just a really nice sort of middle of the road chai, not too sweet, not too spicy, but the star anise is what kind of made it unique, and I really liked that. Then I tried my second and final mate of the year, and that was Adagio's Mocha Nut Mate, and I tried it in little tea bags. So I didn't mean to buy it in tea bags, I accidentally did that, but I do feel like I kind of learned a little bit from you guys because of that. They're in like little mesh bags, and I learned about like the microplastics. Sometimes when you use tea bags like that are made of like that meshy material, like the more high-end fancy tea bags, they release microplastics into your tea, like little teensy tiny pieces of plastic. So I definitely am going to continue to avoid tea bags because I just prefer a metal infuser. I prefer a customizable amount of tea in my teacup. So I wouldn't personally buy the tea bags again, but I did really enjoy the Mocha Nut Mate, and I do plan on drinking all the way through that. And I still really want to try that one as an iced latte because I think it would be really good that way, but I haven't had the chance to try it like that. Then came Almond Autumn Chai from Plum Deluxe, and this one wasn't as traditional chai as the others. It was definitely pretty different than a regular chai. Like, it had all of the spices, but then it had orange peel and almond. So it was really like bright and almondy, like an almond cookie. And then this was another one of my favorites of the year. The next one that I tried was DAVIDStea's Sweet Potato Pie, which was a black tea, and it had like little marshmallows in it. And I think there was like pumpkin and sweet potato. It was so good. It inspired me so much for Thanksgiving. It inspired me to make twice baked sweet potatoes with marshmallows and like pecans and stuff on it. And it was really, really good. And what a unique tea that was. To do a sweet potato tea, I feel like that is kind of bold. You know, I feel like everyone does a pumpkin tea, but nobody, and everyone does Christmas teas, but nobody really does like a Thanksgiving tea, like a sweet potato tea. It was really, really cool, and it tasted amazing. It had a really nice depth of flavor. So I'd say that one's probably in my top 5 as well for this year. Then I tried DAVIDStea's Gingerbread Blondie, which unfortunately was nothing compared to the sweet potato pie. I was expecting like a gingerbread flavor, but it was really just ginger and vanilla, and it wasn't really like, there wasn't any like special depth of flavor. It was kind of like sort of like one note. Like, it really wasn't what I was hoping it would be. It was just like ginger and vanilla and like pineapple or something. So that one kind of fell flat for me. I did give it a second try right before Christmas, and since it's ginger, I like it, but it's not gingerbread. It had no molasses, it had no other spices, just that ginger, and that's it, just the ginger and the vanilla. So that one I would never personally buy again. Ooh, the next one was good though. DAVIDStea's Sunshine Chai. It's a really spicy chai. Like, when I say spicy, like, I love spiced teas, but this one was like almost a little too intensely spicy for me, but it was really good. It has turmeric, black pepper, and all the things that go in like a regular chai. Plus, I think there was like some coconut to sort of balance it in a rooibos tea base. So it is good to drink for the evening because there's no caffeine. And that one was probably one of my personal favorites of the year because of that spiciness. Then for another pretty spicy tea from DAVIDStea, I tried ginger crystals, and that just sounds right up my alley. I love ginger and I love crystals, so that one was pretty good as well. It had like 3 different kinds of ginger, and it was an herbal tea, so it was like a nice powerful ginger. It was even maybe a little too gingery for me, so I would really like to try it combined with a chamomile. For like a nighttime tea. I think ginger and chamomile would be really nice together. Like that honey note I think would be really great. Or to mix it with like a straight green tea, which I have some of that as well. So I did enjoy that one, but I think it would be best mixed with another tea. Then I tried Adagio's spiced apple chai. And I bought it because like it's a variation on a chai, but honestly it didn't taste as appley as I would have liked. So it wasn't something that I would really go out and buy again, because it just tastes kind of like a regular old chai and not so much of like a spiced apple tea. But I was kind of hoping to get that apple flavor a little bit more. Next I tried Adagio's chocolate chai on my little chai adventure. And the chocolate chai was really good. It was pretty mindfully blended as well, because it didn't just have like every chai spice plus the chocolate. It had, I think, just ginger, cinnamon, and chocolate. And it was really like nice and Christmassy. Like it reminded me of like a gingerbread cookie, but with the addition of chocolate. And that was in a black tea base, and I really enjoyed that one. So that one is long gone as well. Then I took it back to basics for my last chai and tried Adagio's masala chai. And I was kind of glad that I waited till the last one to try that, because it was so delicious. It was just an awesome, like perfect, basic, middle of the road chai. And I absolutely loved it, and I still have plenty of that to drink through. Then I tried DAVIDStea's Forever Frosty, which was an herbal tea, and it was really great because it was like a play on Forever Nuts, which is DAVIDStea's like #1 best-selling tea ever. And it steeps up like a really beautiful pink color, and the original Forever Nuts tastes like a pink cinnamon roll in a cup and is so good. And Forever Frosty was just like the holiday version of that. It was like Forever Nuts, so it had the pink color and that like almondy goodness, plus the addition of marshmallows, orange peel, and like sugared almonds. So it was really nice and Christmassy, and I'm still waiting to try that one as a latte as soon as I have time. When I went on DAVIDStea's website, there was this picture of the most beautiful pink foamy latte, and I really just want to recreate that. Next came Satsuma Spice Cake from DAVIDStea, another black tea. And that one was really kind of weird because it was called Satsuma Spice Cake, and it had orange peel in it, which I assume is the Satsuma because that's a type of orange. But there were no spices actually in it. It was all like naturally flavored, which was kind of weird. I kind of wondered why they didn't actually just put the spices in, but I did really like the taste because it was really caramely. The orange and the caramel together really tasted like Christmassy. It had sort of like a coffee house smell sort of taste. It was really, really great. Then I tried Plum Deluxe's gingerbread chai, which again, I don't know if it's like hard to recreate gingerbread in tea form or really what it is, but it really just tasted like a good chai to me. So it was good, but it wasn't gingerbready. And then last but not least, another one from Plum Deluxe was my Sugar Plum black tea. And I loved that tea. It was so good. It was like loaded with cardamom. It had like plum extract and strawberry extract. So the combination of the cardamom with like those fruits were exactly what I'd imagine a sugar plum to taste like, even though I've never tried one and honestly didn't really know what exactly they were before I filmed that video, but that one was really, really good. If I go back and kind of name my favorites, I marked off Honey Ginseng Defense, I really enjoyed. Lavender Buttercream by DAVIDStea as well. Vanilla Cappuccino. DAVIDStea's Maple Chai. And DAVIDStea's Sweet Potato Pie were all my very favorites of the year. And I think my very favorite tea of the entire year would have to be DAVIDStea's Maple Chai. It was just so masterfully done. It was so like, you could just tell that they really took their time developing this blend and just making it as good as it could possibly be. and I really appreciated it. It was so just like balanced and perfect. Like I've never had a tea like that where it's like, it was just the perfect balance. Like I couldn't find anything bad to say about it, even though it wasn't even a tea I really wanted to try. It was like, it had just been given to me in the store as like a teeny tiny little sample, enough for like 1 cup. And I was just blown away by it. So I restocked on that one and I love it. It's like a festive, like it's like a Christmas tea. It's just not, it's just too special to drink like throughout the year. You know, it's a really, really good one. And then I would have to say that my least favorite was another one from DAVIDStea, and it was the Halloween tea Deep Purple. It was just too astringent and weird. There was really nothing I honestly liked about it. So this year, my favorite and my least favorite are both from DAVIDStea. Out of 44 teas, there were only like 2 that I really didn't like. So I'd say this was a pretty awesome year. So I hope you guys enjoyed hearing my little summary and final thoughts on all of the teas that I tried in 2019. Let me know in the comments, what was your favorite tea that you tried this year? Did you guys try the maple chai, and do you agree with me naming it my favorite of the year? Let me know your thoughts. But I hope you guys have had an amazing year and are having a beautiful day, and I will see you next year in my next video. Thanks for watching.